51 Money Mistakes to Avoid in Your Twenties. As an adult in your 20s, you tend to try to figure out your life's financial future and also learn from your past mistakes to try creating a better tomorrow. In your 20s, you feel that adulthood is still new and thrilling. You have many things transpiring in your mind, such as buying a car, getting a house, and getting a paying job. All these desires make you feel like you are destined for riches very soon. It is such a wonderful time. But, although it is fun to be young, your 20s can shape or destroy your financial future. You must make great use of your time to maximize your potential, or else, you risk making costly decisions that can significantly impact your life ahead. If you are ready to build your ideal financial future properly, these are the 51 money mistakes to avoid in your 20s. 1. Failure to save for retirement. When you are in your 20s, retirement sometimes feels very far away, making you overlook it. However, failure to save for retirement is among the most frequent and significant money mistakes that you can commit. The advantage of saving money in your 20s is that you still have more time. The earlier you begin saving, the more you can benefit from compound interest rates. Besides your savings, your employer may offer you some money to help facilitate your retirement objectives through a work-sponsored retirement savings plan. An employer's contribution of only 5% of your salary amount can significantly impact the amount of money you will have upon retiring. Failure to save for retirement in your 20s will make you work for so long despite the aging factor, contribute more money for retirement later, or fail to retire. 2. The mistake of going into credit card debt. For any 20-year-old who earns less, unnecessary spending of lots of money on his credit card can be extremely tempting. It becomes easy for a 20-year-old to place future financial expenses on his card to pay later. Unfortunately, many people in the 20s age bracket don't realize the extent to which debt can affect their lives. Getting yourself into a credit card debt can lead to extreme financial difficulties with time. Therefore, you should learn to respect and understand your credit to minimize the possibility of money mistakes in your 20s.
3. Making poor college choices. The price of attaining higher education today is rising, and student loan debts are significantly affecting the lives of young adults in their 20s. Before joining any college for further education, you have to consider the affordability of the tuition structures to you. Ask yourself questions like, can I afford the tuition? Will I be able to cover all my expenses if admitted to this school? What are the job opportunities for graduates of this degree? Are there any cheaper college options available? You may have to opt for well-paying careers and degrees that are affordable to obtain in vocational and technical schools. Always note that several employers don't mind where you got your degree from and only consider your capability to perform tasks. 4. Going into wedding debts. Having a mega wedding is a dream for many young couples. However, this dream always comes with a hefty price tag. A recent study from CNBC shows that the average wedding has a cost range between $26,000 to $28,000. Basing on where you live, the cost may even increase up to $70,000 or more. All these are huge sums for you to spend on only one event. Instead of amassing debt on your major day, opt for a small budget wedding. Utilize the money that you would have spent on a cozy reception on buying yourself a house. After all, the wedding is mainly about uniting a couple in marriage, and the entertainment, guests, and food are mere supplements to it that you can go without. 5. Heavily spending on a car. When you begin earning money in your 20s, it is easy to fall into the trap of wanting to buy a car. But, spending lots of money on acquiring and maintaining a car can be a significant financial blunder that will impact on your savings with time. Why buy an expensive ride that will depreciate over time with your little savings? Don't even think of getting a loan to finance the car you want. Only spend money on a car that is within your financial means to avoid negative consequences. 6. The mistake of buying a house you can't afford. Acquiring a house can be a significant investment for a person in his or her 20s. It is right to start building equity in an investment like a house that has traditionally appreciated at a perfect rate. However, you must budget well for this housing investment. Always remember that it needs lots of effort and years of saving for you to afford your desirable house. Before owning a house, you have to consider paying utility bills, taxes, insurance, and repairs and maintenance. Consider buying a more affordable starter house before thinking of owning a bigger one similar to what celebrities reside in and operate within your means.
7. Failure to live according to your wage capabilities. Life in your 20s can be adventurous and superb. However, the temptation to spend more during this time can be overwhelming due to peer pressure and media influence. You may want the jewelry, expensive and latest gadgets, cool apartments, and partying with friends. Failure to live according to your wage means it can be a huge mistake in your money matters, as it may lead to bankruptcy or brokenness. Part of becoming a responsible adult involves limiting yourself to some wants to create a more financially stable future. 8. Inability to budget for your money. Many people in their 20s survive only by paycheck and spend all their money away, not because they can't earn enough but they simply don't know how to manage the salary they get from their jobs. Budgeting for your earnings can be a considerable measure you can use to control your money. Your budget should not be so restrictive, as you can spend some of the money on acquiring basic needs and limit the unnecessary wants. All you need is a budget for all your earnings in your 20s. Budgeting for your earnings at an early age can enable you to save for unforeseen circumstances. 9. Failure to make financial preparations. The common challenge that many 20-year-olds face is the failure to make future predictions, since they only care about what is happening today. Failure to prepare yourself for future financial emergencies is like setting yourself up for failure. Start an emergency fund today to help you navigate the hard times. You don't have to wait to become a millionaire to start saving for financial emergencies, as you can begin with your small savings that will also accumulate over time. Do this to avoid so much stress associated with having no money when uncertainty strikes you. 10. Failure to set financial objectives. Building a foundation of wealth and financial stability does not happen overnight. It is a process that requires your effort and time. If you fail to set your smart financial objectives in your 20s, you will work all your life without a single penny left for retirement. 11. Wasting your free time. Many young adults have a careless attitude about life and money and think that an angel will appear one day and hand them all the money they dreamed of having. This is a big lie that makes so many young people waste their free time in unproductive engagements instead of working smart for their financial freedom. 12. Reluctance to make calculated risks. Several people in their 20s fear to make calculated financial risks, such as starting their businesses, shifting to metropolitan areas, or investing their money wisely. When in your 20s, you should utilize this time to take advantage of several financial opportunities available before you get married and have children to cater for all the time. Make sure that you learn something new every day and increase your knowledge as a step to attain financial power. 13. Paying off your wrong debts first. As a 20-year-old, you may be dedicated to paying off your debts, but at the same time unsure about the debts you should begin with. Financial experts advise that you always start paying off bad debts. Bad debt is anything that lowers your financial situation. Bad debts usually comprise of personal bank loans, automobile loans, among others. You should always focus on first paying off all your debts that have higher interest rates. 14. Failing to regularly check your scores. Which 20-year-old wants to spend his or her free time cross-checking credit scores? However, you ought to know where your credit score lies to understand your financial journey properly. In case you have a poor credit score, you can take measures to adjust it. In case your score is good, find more ways of maintaining it that way. You should cross-check your credit score regularly to ensure that your financial information is accurate and to let you cross-check any errors on time. 15. Failure to obtain health insurance in your 20s. While in your 20s, you tend to feel young, healthy, wild, and free without visiting any doctor in a long while because you regard it as useless and time-wasting. However, the cost implications of a sudden medical emergency can multiply greatly, leaving you bankrupt and in debt. If you have the financial means, ensure that you invest in health insurance to minimize the impact of sudden mishaps on you. 16. Fear to discuss your financial matters with your spouse. Many couples in their 20s are not free to discuss their financial details with their partners and prefer to keep such matters private. But if you are serious about someone, you have to spare some time for a financial talk. Start by discussing your individual views on money, how to deal with big home purchases, and your investing and spending habits to draft your financial goals together. 17. Borrowing from friends and family members. Money tends to get between family and friends, especially if you borrow and later fail to pay back. Keep your friend and family ties by sourcing for financial assistance from the appropriate sources in case you need them. Forming a stable financial state is not simple, but with perseverance and diligence, you can utilize your 20s to build a better financial foundation. 18. Choosing to remain in dead-end relationships. Most 20-year-olds have had boyfriends or girlfriends while they were in college. Some of these partners can never balance their checkbooks. They always bank on others for their tattoo, movie, or dinner expenses. You may have spent your college life with such partners hoping that they would one day grow up and adjust for the better. Such relationships seem adorable in your 20s, but they later become draining once you clock 30 years and above. Whereas some of the irresponsible spenders you encountered in your 20s grow up and change for the better, others will never change. So, when in your 20s, always surround yourself with people who don't financially drain you. 19. Excessively leaning on your parents. Be so grateful if you have parents who paid for all your education expenses. Do this because there are so many individuals who would want such opportunities but all in vain. Yes, generous parents can help you solve your financial burdens, but if they are merely spoiling you with cash and not advising you on how to manage it well, financial doom awaits you. Even if navigating your finances initially is not easy, it is a great way you can use to be an independent, responsible adult. 20. Working with a multi-level marketing organization. Multi-level marketing, also termed as MLM, is among the top industries that exploit college students as well as other financially unstable 20-year-olds. At such companies, many young people are promised wealth, and they ask them to introduce their family members and friends to their schemes. Young people who choose to work for MLM companies are usually left in deep debts due to the expenditures they incur to look wealthy. Also, many family and friends stop talking to them after realizing that they were introduced to inappropriate networks. The financial and network damage that working for MLM companies poses to many young people makes it one of the biggest financial mistakes you should avoid in your 20s. 21. Wanting it all right now is a big mistake. Most 20-year-olds tend to get carried away so effortlessly by wanting so much wealth. Nothing is wrong with wanting it all, but something is wrong with wanting everything right away. When you choose to leave your parents' house and go to a condo, don't get carried away by adopting a lifestyle you can't afford. Start with modest accommodations, used furniture in good condition, and save money for emergencies. 22. Refusing to work part-time while studying. As a student in your 20s, you shouldn't hesitate to do a side gig if you have some spare time. You never know, that side gig may turn into your full-time job after completing your studies. Therefore, instead of partying whenever you are free, you can engage in some gigs to help you increase your income and flow. 23. Over-relying on prayers. This is the standard money mistake that most 20-year-olds make. People tend to think that they will just send lots of prayers to God and then wait for miraculous money in their houses. Such a wrong attitude is making very many young people lazy and reluctant to put in more effort to realize. Every 20-year-old should pray while working for success and not put all his hope in only prayers for a financial breakthrough. 24. Rushing to obtain a master's without any work experience. Many 20-year-olds who get their degrees from college tend to rush to pursue their master's degrees even without a clear vision of what field they want to get expertise in and just continue with expensive education with the hope of getting high-paying jobs and to feel prestigious. However, all young people must recognize that jobs require workers with the necessary skills and experience and not mainly academic qualifications. They should also first find what they are passionate about and then think of getting a more formal education in their areas of interest. It helps in minimizing wastage of time, money, and other resources. 25. Spending so much money on eating food from expensive restaurants. Many 20-year-olds want to be seen dining in the most excellent restaurants across town, and they don't give a damn whether they can afford it or not. Some young adults go the extra mile to get involved with sugar mummies and sugar daddies to accumulate money for more feasts. Instead of saving their money for more productive investments, they simply choose to spend all their money away. 26. Making random and unplanned purchases. This mistake is made by many 20-year-olds who buy things that they don't need and just buy out of impulse. With time, such random purchases can significantly impact your savings, making you go broke at an early age. It is advisable that you only purchase commodities you need and planned for instead of buying everything that catches your eye at the shopping mall. 27. Being so stingy with every coin you earn. Yes, saving your money is a good practice for every 20-year-old. However, being so stingy with every coin you earn may limit your chances of earning more money directly because you are not supporting those who may not be so fortunate like you. Share the little you have with others because the universe tends to reward such little acts of kindness with more abundance positively. The universe supports people who give as compared to those who don't and only wait to receive. 28. Failing to negotiate for a higher salary. Several young people in their 20s are so concerned about having jobs and can desperately settle for any salary they are given even without negotiating for higher salaries as long as their employers give them job placements. Any responsible 20-year-old should negotiate for a better salary from his employers and not work for less money that cannot enable the saving of money to meet other needs. You should work for a salary that is enough to meet your needs and let you save some money. 29. Acting out of fear. Some 20-year-olds lack the confidence to interact with various people freely, and this behavior makes it hard to increase one's network. If you can't interact with people, then it will be hard for you to sell them your goods and services. Remember, your network is your net worth. Endeavor to meet and interact with new amazing people who can help you and your business grow to greater horizons before it is too late. 30. Excessive drinking of alcohol. Excessive drinking of alcohol by many 20-year-olds has led to so much spending of their savings on buying alcoholic drinks. Moreover, alcoholic drinks are usually taken in excessive amounts leading to other health complications that need more money to treat. It is hard for employers to tolerate working with alcoholics at workplaces because of their low levels of alertness. As such, many alcoholic 20 have lost their sources of income due to their unbecoming behavior. Therefore, if you are to drink, only take some little alcohol and avoid excessive drinking. 31. Drug addiction. Many 20-year-olds are victims of drug abuse and take excessive drugs like cocaine. The dangers of drug abuse are far-reaching and can lead to the neglect of work and school responsibilities, involvement in criminal activity, and a higher risk of getting victimized by crime, jeopardizing helpful friends and family who would have provided excellent financial support. Taking excessive drugs damages an individual as a whole and could result in extreme poverty levels if left unattended to at all. 32. Disregarding product and service discounts, offers, coupons, and price cuts. Many 20-year-olds are reluctant to take advantage of the product discounts that they encounter and want to pay for expensive to prove their financial capabilities. However, as a 20-year-old, it is crucial for you to take advantage of price cuts and discounts offered by sellers to enable you to have more money for saving. 33. Undermining people with low profiles. In today's society, almost all 20-year-olds tend to distance themselves from people who are not popular and prefer to associate themselves with and imitate celebrities. In most cases, young people want to imitate the expensive lifestyles of their preferred celebrities even when they can't afford it. This has caused so many young people to run bankrupt and sell all their belongings to afford the expensive lifestyles. However, as a 20-year-old, you should find people you look to who encourage good saving habits even though they are not famous or popular to help you achieve financial independence. 34. Spending money before earning it. It is common for many 20-year-olds to spend all their money on their wants even before the money arrives. This involves spending all the money they have today to get more tomorrow from a specific source. However, this is very risky for you because the future is uncertain, and you never know whether you will get the money you expect. It is right for you to only wisely spend some money that you have now and not spend relying on future earnings. 35. Depending on only one source of income for survival. Many 20-year-olds are comfortable with only one source of income and don't think of expanding their sources of income. The problem comes when uncertainty strikes the only sources of income they have, causing them to make losses, get laid off their jobs, leading to the development of constant stress, simply because they only had one source of income for survival. So, every 20-year-old must have multiple sources of income to help cover their expenses if one income source is no longer reliable. 36. Doing things because everyone else is doing them. It is wrong for 20-year-olds to start businesses or projects because their friends have also started businesses. Everybody in this world has unique gifts that can be turned into sources of income if carefully worked upon. Many young people have started businesses that have failed in a short time simply because they were not passionate about those businesses. However, once you're passionate about your business, you will go the extra mile to make things work out. Don't start a bookshop if you hate anything related to books because your business will most likely fail. 37. Wanting free things. The desire for free things in business can cause you expensive consequences. If you need your business to improve and have higher chances of success, you have to look for consultants at a cost to assist you in making profitable business strategies that will contribute to more returns in your business. If you are a 20-year-old with your business, invest more money and expertise to see great results. 38. Dislike for sales and marketing. Many young people in their 20s don't want to do sales and marketing, such as making phone calls to get customers, because they see that as very tedious. This is why many businesses fail, simply because there are no customers to buy their products and services. If you can't sell your business, don't start any business, since sales are the backbone of any healthy business. 39. Starting businesses without the intention of solving existing problems in their societies. Today, many 20-year-olds are starting businesses that can't offer solutions to people's problems. Some young people simply start projects only to show off and satisfy their egos. It becomes so hard for their businesses to thrive since they don't simplify others' lives, making it difficult to make enough money to sustain those businesses. 40. Selling products and services at meager prices. The money mistake that most 20-year-olds make when running their businesses is that they provide their goods and services at meager costs due to the fear of scaring away any customers. This can lead to negative consequences to the small businesses of 20-year-olds in situations where big brands in the market offer the same products and services alongside huge discounts and free giveaways. If you are a young person charging less, you may find it hard to make a significant financial breakthrough amid fierce competition from the market giants. Therefore, sell your items expensively and acknowledge that you can't serve all customers around. Only attract and retain customers who can afford your expensive items. Do this by looking for your customers from the right channels and places. You are never expensive, you only need to target the right market. 41. Waiting to amass so much money more before starting your business. The big mistake that many aspiring entrepreneurs make is waiting to accumulate much money before starting any business. This tendency has led to delayed execution of businesses with the false hope that one day, everything will be enough. However, you can never have enough resources to start a business, and it is advisable for you to start with the minimum resources at hand and use them to bring in more money that will grow the entire business. 42. Dressing shabbily. It is prevalent for several 20-year-old adults to dress inappropriately, especially at their workplaces. There are cases where you find a professional banker in his 20s having colored hair, wearing damaged jeans on a workday, and wearing worn-out shoes and suits. Note that every 20-year-old who is actively engaged in business should look clean, professional, smell good, dress smartly, and confidently meet other business associates and customers. If you have torn shoes and old, pale clothes in your wardrobe, I advise you to throw them away or recycle them for other uses. Also, don't wear loose ill-fitting clothes because they make you look dull, unattractive, and unsuccessful. Every 20-year-old who wants to look smart should search the internet and look at how successful people dress and copy some good fashion ideas from those people. 43. Poor body hygiene. Some of the 20-year-olds doing business don't practice good body hygiene and have bad body odors. In most cases, it is hard for 20-year-olds with a stench to close sales and business because the potential clients they reach out to for business find them unpleasant to interact with, hence making more losses. You have to recognize that no one wants to be near an individual harboring lousy odor, and this is, therefore, a no. All of us want to associate with smart people having lovely scents who can make our moments comfortable. As a 20-year-old, practice proper body hygiene, apply mild colognes or deodorants to keep off bad body odor, and think of making more money. 44. Fearing to seek suitable financial advice. Several 20-olds today assume that they know everything related to finances and sometimes feel proud to seek help in financial management. They then end up spending their money in non-essential ventures that they feel excited about and then fall into unexpected debt when things don't turn out as they expected. If you feel that you need guidance and counseling related to how you should manage your finances, always look out for financial experts to walk you through the ideal financial discipline measures before it is too late for you to handle. 45. Overeating junk and other unhealthy foods. Very many 20-year-olds today entirely rely on consuming junk and processed foods because they want to look classy, and are also misled by manufacturers in the food industry who display their food advertisements promising clients with supreme energy and unique abilities after consuming their products. However, many young people who have continuously consumed junk and unhealthy foods have developed complications such as obesity, reduced concentration levels, depression resulting from chemical changes, uncontrolled appetite, heart and liver complications, among other problems. All these problems significantly impact the health of so many young people who end up spending most of their time and savings in treating themselves. As a 20-year-old, you should always eat much healthy food and limit your intake of junk to prolong your lifespan and have a chance to concentrate on building your financial empire. 46. Mixing friendship with business. This dangerous work hazard is common among many 20-year-olds engaged in entrepreneurial business activities. Research that was conducted by the Bureau of Labor Statistics indicated that the average American worker spends around 8 to 9 hours per day at work. But a study in the UK discovered that an average entrepreneur will take 63% more time at work than others employed anywhere in the range of 52 to 62 hours per week. Any young entrepreneur out there can easily relate to this. This means that young people spend more time at work, and the people they work with will have a significant impact on their lives in one way or another. It is partly the reason as to why many 20-year-olds will bring their friends and relatives whom they love and trust to work with them. However, trust can be blindfolding, and it can make one ignore the work mistakes made by their loved ones. Worse still, as a 20-year-old business leader, other regular employees may notice that you are playing favorites on your friends and relatives, and this can lead to the decline of their work morale as well as their productivity levels, which could lead to fatal losses and business performance declines. To handle this challenge, the Infusionsoft CEO and founder called Claude Mask recommends employers working with friends and relatives to praise regular employees more for their excellent performance than loved ones who should work harder to receive the same level of praise given to the regular worker. Whereas doing this may seem unfair to your friends and family at the workplace, it is good to preserve the overall company morale instead of practicing favoritism. 47. Turning off your phone and other communication gadgets over the weekend. There is a false interpretation of weekends among many 20-year-olds in business today. Some people think that every project and dealing ends on Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday are days for resting and partying. By switching off mobile phones over the weekend, many young people miss out on receiving essential calls from potential business associates, which can lower their chances of continuous cash inflow. Therefore, as a 20-year-old, you should leave your mobile phone on to enable you to receive messages and calls from potential clients. 48. Getting involved in romantic relationships with bosses and colleagues at work. A significant percentage of 20-year-olds and the working class make the mistake of developing romantic relationships with workmates with high hopes that they will get promotions and pay rises faster. However, in most cases, many young people in workplace relationships are simply sexually abused, used, and dumped when the flings come to an end. Sometimes these 20-year-olds end up losing their respect before other workers because of their cheap behavior, which lowers the chances of promotion to higher roles when their actions are reported to higher authorities. So, as a young person, you have to work your way up the career ladder instead of sleeping around with bosses whose main intentions are to sexually use you and then dump you when their sexual desires are met. Be careful about this. 49. Treating fellow workmates like competitors. Because of the greed for pay rises, ego, and laziness, so many 20-year-olds and the working class tend to treat their workmates like competitors by trying to throw them under the bus to make themselves seem like the most favorable actions. Many young people in employment do so because they see that other workers are working beyond the minimum standards and excel in performance and therefore try to accuse them of crimes unknown to them to make others question their actions. Such actions of mistreating workmates and holding grudges at the workplaces have led to the collapse of small and large corporations simply because some few employees don't get along so well, contributing to process disruptions. So, as a 20-year-old, you have to desist from mistreating fellow workmates and understand that everyone has a unique purpose of fulfilling when at work. Therefore, useless competition is a waste of time because you can never be someone else. 50. Setting unrealistic financial goals. 20-year-olds who are engaged in business undertakings tend to set unrealistic goals that are not specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. This is why you find a young adult wanting to fly a private jet after spending only 1 week at the workplace. On setting unrealistic goals, many 20-year-olds have resorted to illegal activities to gain quick money and live luxurious lives. The result of this is extravagant spending and utmost indebtedness if they are taken to courts of law for engaging in illegal business activities. 51. Embezzling company money. Very many 20-year-olds at various workplaces are never satisfied with the starter salary packages that they receive as compensation for work done and then resort to stealing company money to buy posh cars, splash money in bars, and get multiple girlfriends and boyfriends. On stealing cash from their workplaces, they create abrupt deficits that contribute to the collapse of businesses where they are employed. I advise you never to steal company money to avoid losing your job or facing court charges and then pay for expensive damages you have caused. You must sincerely work for your salary instead of stealing company money. Thank you for watching this video.